The Massdrop Vast is a 35-inch ultra-wide gaming monitor with a beautiful VA panel, 100Hz refresh rate, FreeSync, and at $549.99, it is one of the most affordable gaming ultra-wide monitors on the market. The monitor boasts a sturdy metal build and 1800R curvature for great viewing angles, and it's also VESA mountable to fit into almost any setup. Check out the link in the description for more information, and thanks to Massdrop for sponsoring this video.
Hey y'all, Moses here. Today I want to talk about many of the changes included in this most recent patch for PUBG, and that includes things that were not in the patch notes. So we're going to be going through the documented and undocumented changes and my thoughts on how this patch has played out so far. So right out of the gate, I can say that this patch is one of the best, if not the best patch that has ever been deployed for PUBG since maybe the 1.0 update, and then a little bit thereafter as well, since the 1.0 update had its own issues when it came out. So I think this is probably the best quality of life patch that we've had since, the game came out. So coming back from the disastrous anti-cheat patch of last week where people were getting banned by accident and all the different frame issues and just technical disaster that patch deployment was, this patch has been the complete opposite. It has been an absolute dream. The client optimization and server optimization are immediately noticeable. The game is very stable, running at a high frame rate. And again, I know there's going to be some of you guys out there that are saying, oh, no, this patch ruined my frames, blah, blah, blah. For the most part, by and large, the response to this patch has been very positive and for me as well. So the server optimization has been good. Obviously, that there's still a lot of early game, not desync, but tick rate related issues as far as looting and shooting and stuff goes. But, I mean, that is not... It's not 100% acceptable, but I'm used to it, and I kind of know how to handle it, and a lot of people do as well. But overall, the server performance is much improved. The friends list is a nice addition. I haven't had a chance to use that yet, mainly because I have no friends. Oh, and the menu voice chat, similar thing there. So as far as the rest of the changes go, the achievements are nice. It's nice to have like little things to work towards. Any level of reward for playing is very nice. The world changes I didn't notice too much about, but the sound. Now this is a documented change that there were some removed ambient noise and lowered the overall volume. That does not speak to the effect that has had on the overall game. The noise floor has been reduced to the point where the game is nearly silent when you're running around. You can hear footsteps much more clearer. The overall noise pollution of the essential white noise of the previous background ambient noise is now essentially gone, and it really makes for almost an eerie state of the game where you're kind of running around and you can't hear anything other than the light wind, your own footsteps, and whatever's going on around you. So the airplane sound has changed as well. Having that varied plane sound is not as, annoying, I suppose, is the word I'm looking for, as it was before. It's called the Doppler effect. I don't know exactly how or what that means, but I'm sure someone smarter than me could explain that in the comments down below. Regardless, the ambient sound is so nice. It's a peaceful game, and not only that, but I feel superhuman in my ability to hear footsteps. You can hear people moving around in the train very close to you, and it really makes for a different game environment, to the point where I have to be much more aware as to what I'm doing, because I think I've been playing worse since this patch came out. If you were watching the stream today, you could definitely tell I am now worse at the game. I don't know why, but maybe it's out of practice or some of the changes that have come in, but maybe with the optimization, everybody that was having frame rate issues before is now able to easily kill me. But regardless, I think that it really changes the way that you play the game, and the sound changes have been an immense quality of life improvement that I think is one of the best changes to come into the game in a very long time. So, and this is hyperbole, but I take for granted the sound changes as much as I do new maps. I think that was such a great change. Anyway, moving on from there, the bug fixes the 8x scope retaining its zoom between weapon switching. The overlapping footstep sounds in first-person perspective mode, that was all nice. Overlapping and weird-looking character animations have been kind of changed, even though I don't really notice it. Some of the other little things I think are a little bit too narrow, but the 8x and the scopes themselves the way they look now is amazing. They did a great job with the new scopes, and I wish that they would take credit for some of these changes. Some of this stuff is not listed in the patch notes, and those are changes I want to talk about now as well. So the first thing I think it's kind of the unicorn of this patch is the flare gun. The flare gun was added to the custom server options as well as a few other things, specifically around circle settings. But the flare gun is a new weapon in the custom server settings that is fairly interesting. And now it's kind of a mystery as to how this will make its way into the basic game. But essentially what the flare gun does is calls a airdrop to your location where you shoot the flare. So it'll hang in the air for a while, and then all of a sudden a plane shows up and drops a special loot box that contains 2 weapons, crate weapons, on your location and whatever other attachments might be in there. So the footage here is from the custom game that I had today. I gathered up a bunch of people from the Discord at discord.gg/wtfmoses, and we had a little hunt where we went and found the flare guns. Now, I guess I would be remiss not to say that we found the flare guns in the same spots. I'm not going to say where because I don't want to ruin it for everybody, but you can go out and find the flare guns yourselves. They are in custom games, so if you have someone or know someone who has custom server access, I would get out there and do it. Maybe we'll do the same thing this weekend at the stream. But anyway, we found the flare gun. A special crate drops, and that's what it does. So we found that you have to shoot it straight up in the air, so the flare has to basically sit in a specific spot, and then a plane comes and drops you your fancy loot package, and that's that. So what effect that has later on the overall game, I don't know. Maybe that'll be something for a new game mode that has been teased. Maybe this is something that will be used in the game to maybe speed up the mid game, or maybe it has something to do with a night mode. I really don't know. It's hard to spot it in the sky, but maybe a night mode is confirmed. I mean, that was kind of what we talked about when the flare gun first came out. Then, what is the point of this thing? But who knows? For now, it's just an interesting little Easter egg. So the second thing I want to talk about is the weapon balancing that has apparently occurred in this patch. The AK-47 has had its recoil reduced and its fire rate, I believe, slightly increased. It might be a placebo effect, not confirmed. I didn't spend too much time testing. I'm sure your boy Wacky Jackie will come in with that when he gets time to re-examine the AK. But for now, the eyeball that I had on the games the last couple of days is that the AK-47 has been essentially reverted to the state it was in. Oh my God, a million patches ago when they nerfed it. But the recoil has been reduced. I believe the horizontal recoil has been reduced as well. And overall, it handles like a normal AK-47. It's not amazing, but it is reliable at the medium range that it used to be just garbage at, where you would be trying your best to control it. I'm not sure if they've messed with the weapon damage. None of this stuff has been proven, but the AK-47 is now a viable weapon in the game. I've been using it, and it's exciting. It's like having a gun. It's like having a new gun, the AK-47, where it was just like, oh my God, leave that thing on the ground. Is much more viable now. And really, I'm wondering if this weapons balance patch was more to bring weapons up to where the 416 has been, which is the best gun in the game, which, that makes a little bit more sense. Instead of nerfing something, maybe bringing the other weapons a little bit closer to it. So the AK-47 is one. The M16 as well seems to have had a slight buff in its recoil gain or pattern. The horizontal recoil seems to be a lot easier to control. The spamming of this single fire seems a lot more easy to control. And the burst fire seems to have lower recoil as well. Now, the one trade-off that I think we might have noticed is the time between bursts has maybe been extended a little bit, because I don't think I can spam it quite as fast as I could before. But overall, the M16 seems to have had a handling upgrade and perhaps a small fire rate downgrade. I'm not sure. Again, just going from the feel of it, it feels a lot more reliable. I really liked it. The 2X as well, not a documented change, but kind of comes in with the other scope changes. The scope changes have been really nice, but the 2X is now a very nice sight. You can adjust you can still adjust the brightness of the reticle, but the field of view you get with the 2X is really nice. I'm happy to see that, along with the AK-47 coming back into the fold. The 8X has also had that annoying circle removed from the reticle, so the 8X reticle has evolved again. Really nice looking new reticle. I think the 8X is now in its proper place among the top tier of attachments. with the fact that it keeps its weapon, or it keeps its zoom between weapon swaps. The 4X hasn't changed at all. I'm not a super huge fan of the sepia tone that is in with the scopes, but that's just a small nitpick. Overall, I think that it's been a really nice change. And not to mention that I haven't had a chance to play with the SCAR. The 416 feels very similar as the what it was before. The Car 98, again, I don't know if this is actually the case, but it feels like the bullet speed has maybe been tweaked a little bit, or maybe the drag that it gains has been tweaked a little bit. The Car 98 feels a little bit more reliable. I definitely need more time with it. I cannot confirm that it's been changed at all. Maybe it's just, again, a placebo effect, but it just feels a little bit snappier when shooting at targets, which has been really nice, and that's a welcome change, because I think sniping in the game has kind of been crappy since that bullet drag thing has been introduced to both the M24 and the Car 98. So overall, this patch has been just a breath of fresh air. I still have a few kind of qualms with the replayability as far as rewarding players for their achievements. So the achievement system is great, but I would still like to see things like, a token for a special crate for winning, or, a crate for a key for a crate for winning. Just incentive to keep playing. A ranking system, MMR, all the stuff that was mentioned in the roadmap that I would still like to see. That's what I've been hoping for. But overall, this patch is like a spring cleaning, like right on time, middle of March, spring cleaning patch, where a bunch of the stuff that's been annoying us all to death has been kind of addressed, and I've been really happy with this. So every time we get these nice patches, it kind of alleviates the future dismay. But there is downtime tonight. There is quote unquote back end optimizations coming tonight. So hopefully it doesn't break anything. But overall, this patch has been awesome. So I'm interested to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. What have you liked about this patch? What do you want to see in the next one? And how have you been finding it? You can also check me out on Twitch at twitch.tv/wtfmoses. I've been having fun with this patch. So come hang out and say hello if you get the chance. And follow me on Twitter at wtfmoses. I am traveling to Romania next week to cast the upcoming PGL Invitational. So more competitive PUBG. Thank you for all your responses on the previous video I did on that. That is it. That is 12 minutes almost on the dot. So thank you guys again for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed the footage, and I hope you've enjoyed the patch. And until next time, I'll see you out there.